All right, we're going to go ahead and get started then. So this morning's format, we've got a pyramid, right? So we're going to go 6 reps of 6 different exercises, then 8, then 10, then 12, then back to 10, back to 8, back to 6. So well, I'll get into the exercises in a little bit, but let's get warming here. We are going to use a foam roller to start with. Amy, you've probably already been rolling for 45 minutes this morning. But just starting off, sitting on the ground, going to let that roller pass along the back of your legs, calves. This is a one foam roller house, so she gets to use it right now. Just rolling the back of your legs. Let's move up between your knees and your butt. Good, tilting from side to side there. Let's see if we can get the outside of your legs. Remember, if the pressure feels too intense, you can take your top leg and place your foot flat on the floor so that you pull some tension off of that leg. And let's switch to the other side. And good, go ahead and sit on top of the roller. Rolling out both cheeks, just kind of rolling back and forth, tilting a little bit left and right just to find that, find the sore spots there. Lean all the way over to the side of your hip, like where your pocket is. And then switch to the other side. And good, let's roll over to the front, to your front. So you're gonna roll the front of your thighs. Don't like it or you don't need it. If you want to get all the way up to your waistband or all the way up to your hip bone, you can move that roller off to the side just so you're rolling one leg at a time. Switch legs if you're working one at a time here. And good, last one, we're gonna roll back over so you're facing the ceiling. Put the roller under your shoulder blades. And then we're rolling back and forth. You can change where your arms are to change how this one feels. So put your arms up overhead. Reach towards the ceiling, feels a little bit different. Finally, way to get the most pressure is to give yourself a big hug. Try to touch your hands behind your back. And good. Okay, so let's just move the roller out from underneath you. We're going to start off on the floor. So laying down on your back, you're going to point the bottom of both shoes at the ceiling. You're going to grab one leg and give yourself a hamstring stretch. Okay, so you've got a hamstring stretch going here. The other leg is going to work nice and straight. So we lower to tap your heel to the floor and race. So we're going to go 10 times, working one leg, stretching the other. So it's a straight leg, lower, down to tap your heel, bring it back up. Belly stays nice and strong through this. Once you get 10 on one side, we'll switch to the other foot. Good morning, Monica.
Hi.
I'm not sure who Silver is, but good morning, Silver.
Hi.
Who is that? It's a mystery. It's okay.
Mystery.
All right, good. Second one, still lying on your back. You're gonna press your heels down into the floor. Squeeze your cheeks, make your glutes strong, pushing those hips up and hold. And then you're gonna do a floor slide, which means shoulders are gonna, or arms are gonna be sliding along the floor. And we're gonna do 12 of those, reaching up and trying to bring your elbows down into your back pocket, reaching up, trying to bring your elbows down into your back pocket. Keep your belly strong the whole time. Keep your cheeks strong the whole time as you're pressed up. Doing 12 slides there. Once you're done, you're gonna roll over onto your side. After you've done 12 slides, go ahead and roll over onto your side. Fingertips are going to be together. Bring your knees up. Yep, even with your waistband. And then you're going to open up, chest facing the ceiling. Yep, open and close. As you close, make sure your fingertips touch together. You should keep your belly strong here so that we're keeping the pressure off of your low back. There should be a big rotation with your upper back, not pressure on your low back. And switch to the other side. Knees should be up even with your waistband. Fingertips always touching together. Remember, it's less about how far your shoulder moves, how far your shoulder joint moves, and more about how much we can open the chest up. So you could even do this one by keeping your hand on your chest as you rotate. And good. Let's come on up to one knee. So we have one knee on the ground, reaching up, trying to touch the ceiling. So two things are happening here. You're reaching up to try to touch the ceiling, and you're also keeping your tailbone tucked under. Keep your tailbone tucked down and under. We're also reaching up here. It's kind of like trying to pull your tailbone down to the floor, trying to touch the roof with, or try to touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Let's go ahead and switch sides. And good. So we're going to stand up here. Let's start off with an inchworm. We're going to do stationary inchworms. So you walk your hands forward out into a push-up position. And then you're just going to walk your feet back into your hands. Tap your toes and right back out. We're going to do 4 of those. Good. From there, a little balance challenge. Bring this leg up and across. So you're going to support your knee. So we're pulling up on your knee and also up on your ankle. Just trying to bring that up for a stretch. If balance is a thing that you're struggling with this morning, then we'll just do a quick pull on each side. So it'd be like a 1-second pull on one side, then alternate to the other. But the longer we can hold here, the better. And good. Okay, so we're gonna start moving here. Let's go. Bring it up. And then you're gonna step out to the side for lateral lunge. So bring that leg up and across, that leg. Then I'm gonna step out for lateral lunge. Let's do 6 each side. Next one, we're gonna go reverse lunge. So let's step your left leg back. And then your left leg is going to be back for an SLDL. So reverse lunge, and then we're hinging at the hips. Reverse lunge, hinging at the hips. And we're going to do 6 on each side. Should be about time to switch. Okay, so just to get the nervous system going a little bit faster here, pretend you are standing inside a 1 square foot box, right? So we're just going to do a couple of variations from here. The first one is just going to be outside the box, inside the box, out and in. Okay, so it's like the bottom part of a jumping jack. We're going to go for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Ready, and go. And relax. Next one, in, out, out. In, out, out. In, out, out. Okay. 5 seconds. Ready, and go. In, out, out. Good. Last one here. You're going to be standing behind your imaginary box, and then you're going to step forward into it. So we step in, step out, out. In, out, out. In, out, out. Okay. Last one. Ready, set, go. And relax. Good. Okay. So ready to get going here. Like I said earlier, we are doing a pyramid today. So we go 6 reps of 6 different exercises, then 8 reps of 6 exercises, 10, 12, and then 10, 8, and 6. So you might find yourself, if you have different weights around, you may find yourself changing the weights up. We can also find ways to make things a little bit more challenging for the lower reps and a little less challenging for the higher reps. So we'll try to talk through that. There really is no time limit or time suggestion, I guess, for this. We'll be going at kind of a medium speed. If you want to move ahead of us, that's totally fine. I'll give you the 6 exercises right now so that you can kind of take off after the first round if you want to. So the first exercise is the goblet squat. This is becoming pretty standard, right? And so kind of depends, the challenge depends on how heavy the weight is. But for goblet squat, we bring the weight up, keep the handle right up under your chin. And so then you're squatting down and up. So we want to squat down till you get your thighs parallel to the ground. So we're just down and up. So that's the goblet squat. Nice and simple. We'll start with 6, go to 8, 10, 12, 10, 8, back to 6. Okay, so that's the goblet squat. SLDL, these are all going to be movements that you guys know. So SLDL, we're just hinging down like that. And you're going to do 6 each side. 6 each side. Then for the next exercise is a row. So we can do this one of 2 ways. You want to show the seated one? You can do a seated row if you have a band. If you bought one of the kits and you have a band, we can do a seated row. Okay, where you put the band, double it up, put it under the bottom of your feet, and then we're pulling your elbows back behind you. Okay, or you can do a standing version of that, where you step on the band, get a good strong position with your legs, and then we're pulling your elbows up to the ceiling. Okay, or if you have a weight that works, you can just be in the same position. I would set this foot back in that same position, rowing your elbow up towards the ceiling. Finally, the last one, we did it, I want to say Saturday, maybe Friday, but a 2-hand row where you're kind of pulling your elbows up to the ceiling, pulling the weight into your belly button. Okay, if you're going to do the two-hand row, double up the reps. If you're going to do the two-handed row, double up the reps because it is a little bit easier, right? So that's that. Next one, lateral lunge or lateral squat. You're going to put your feet wide, and we're going to go 1, 1, 2, 2, right? So that's until you get 6 each side. So that's the lateral lunge. Push-ups. Push-ups are just push-ups. Do them from your knees. For the lower reps, some people may need, if 6 push-ups is relatively easy for you, we can do banded push-ups. So we put the band around your palms and put the band over your back. So that's how you can do your lower reps. Of course, you can always, if you need it to be easier, you can always vary with the range of motion or put your knees down. Final exercise, tripod transition. We do this in the gym, but a lot of people may not remember it. So you're going to think left hand or left leg, right hand on the floor. The tripod is 3 points of contact, 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to transition to the back side. So try to touch your foot as far back as you can, as far forward as you can, as far back as you can, as far forward as you can. All right. So those we're going to do total. So you do 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Okay. So we'll go through it now. We'll try to go at a kind of a medium speed. And then once we get through the first one, we've got the rounds ahead of us. So if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead. If you want to stick with us, you can stick with us. If you need to go slower, you can go slower. All right. So we'll get started here with the goblet squat. Remember, right now we're just doing 6 of these. Okay, and we're off. Keep that same weight for an SLDL. And the row is next.
Lateral.
Yeah, lateral squat, yep. Last one, push up. Yep. Here, Monica, if you don't want this to turn into the Monica show, you can turn your camera off. I don't mind it. Okay. Last one, tripod transition, reaching that foot back. As you turn, you're going to try to point your belly button at the ceiling. As you reach back, you'll try to point your belly button down at the floor. Remember, on this one, we're only going to do 3 each side. Okay, so that's the circuit. Squat, SLDL, row, lateral squat, push up, tripod transition. So those are our 6. You can go at your speed here. You can go at your speed. We're going to keep a moderate pace here, and I'll try to keep coaching along the way so we can make some adjustments as you go on up the ladder. Okay, so on our way up, we're going to 8 here. Here we go. Remember, when you do the goblet squat, you can have your toes pointing out a little bit. There's kind of a range that's okay. It's sort of going to depend on your hips and all of that. Just make sure wherever your feet are, that your ankles or your knees are on top of your ankles, meaning shins parallel to each other. And then on this SLDL, make sure that your belly button's pointing down at the floor. Okay, your belt buckle should be parallel and parallel to the floor. And with this one, it's not necessarily about touching the weight to the floor. It's just getting good range of motion at your hips. If you're getting tired of holding the weight on the lateral squat, you can also drop it down to the middle here. So we're just holding with 2 hands, holding it lower. Again, it's not about getting the weight to the floor. It's more about getting good range at your hips. Your bending leg, the foot should be flat on the floor. Tripod transition is the last one. Remember, we're only doing half of these each side. Feel free to take a little time in between if you need it, in between each set.
This is 10.
Yep. So we're on 10. Remember, goblet squat, we're keeping the feet flat on the floor, pushing those hips back, sitting down like you're sitting into a chair. This one too, if you get tired of holding the weight up, you can hold it down. Squat it down. It changes things a little bit, but it's okay. On the SLDL, the side that you're holding the weight on and the leg that is going back should be the same. So if you're holding in your right hand, your right leg should be going back. can make these a little bit easier by setting your bending leg forward a little bit. So if you set it forward about 3 inches, you'll be able to sit back into your heel a little bit more and use more of your hip in the movement. On to push-ups. Remember, we're doing 10 of everything here. And staying on the floor for a tripod transition. Okay, working our way up to the big one here. So this is the top of the pyramid. We're working on 12s. Remember, you can adjust the weight if you have that kind of equipment at home. You can also go body weight if needed. Remember, just trying to keep your belly button pointing down at the floor with those SLDLs. Working into lateral squats. As you're doing your lateral squats, think shoulders nice and level, right? So we aren't dipping your shoulder down to that one side, keeping shoulders nice and level as you go through. Glad we didn't do it to 15. We got more time today about the package.
Great.
And so wherever you are right now with this one, it's we're probably starting to spread out as a group. Totally okay. If you have any questions about the order, just go ahead and shout it out. But at this point, there's going to be probably more rest happening, which is totally fine. I think we started this one 12 after. I think if you finish the circuit within 25 minutes, you should be good. Like that would be a good pace. Actually, that would be a pretty fast pace. So yeah, if you finish the circuit within 30 minutes, you should be good. Right. So if we can finish up by 7:40, you'd be pretty good there. But on the bright side, we're back down the mountain now. So working our way back down to 10s. This would be a good time to change the weight if you need to. You want to push yourself a little bit more, make it heavier. With the goblet squats, keep going nice and deep. On the SLDL, think about that back toe pointing down at the ground. So we start to modify however you need to here. Remember with the push-ups also, we can adjust the range of motion. So if you only feel strong going down a little bit, and back up a little bit, that's okay too. So this at-home workouts aren't really the time to be able to work on that, but we can get some good work done just at those, top ranges of motion. Okay, 2 more rounds to go here. Remember, but take the rest you need. You shouldn't be 100% fully recovered before you get into the next one. So take the rest you need to do things with good form, but it shouldn't be fully recovered. You should feel your heartbeat coming down. Or if you're wearing like a wrist-based or a chest strap, you can check it there. You should see it come down probably 20 to 30 beats per minute. And then if you're not fully recovered, it's time to go again. Just as long as you can keep good form. So we're down into the 8s. These are going to start to feel pretty quick here. Just check it in on the lateral squat, making sure that your foot stays flat on the floor. We're not starting to push into the ball of your foot. You should have a nice team effort between your toe and your heel as you press back up. Good, maybe you're into your last set already. If you're keeping up with us, you'll be heading into your last set here. Doing 6s, so this will feel pretty quick. The nice thing about these pyramids, when you're on your way downhill, it kind of gains speed in a hurry. Remember, more important than doing it fast is doing it well. This is the time when you need the most focus on your form. So as you get tired, it's easy to get a little bit sloppy. And that's where things tend to go wrong. But staying nice and locked up here, make your last ones your best ones. Okay, so for the members, this is going to be set up in the members only Facebook group. Make sure you're on there because we're going to be doing a lot of members only things this week. So make sure you're on there so that you can get all the most value you can get out of that. So good job to my workout partner, Kelly, there. That was a tough one. That actually got a lot harder than I was thinking it was going to be, but I guess it all depends on the weight you use and the time you take and all of that. So good job this morning. This will be posted in about an hour just because the upload speeds have been pretty low. But yeah, other than that, have an awesome day. Thanks so much for joining us. Today is the first day. We're going to have a 5:30 circuit as well. So maybe you could tune in for that too if you're feeling good. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.